using the Singer Promise 2 model 1512, and we're going to walk you through just the basic stitches on the stitch selection dial. Now here's something really nice. Everything is built into this one dial, from stitch length of different straight stitches, stitch width of different zigzags, and the satin stitch, the buttonhole, a decorative stitch, and some utility stitches in addition. So when I'm sewing a regular seam, it is best to be on that center stitch length option for the straight stitch. So as you try out each of these stitches, which it won't take long to try out all 13 stitches, start with the shortest stitch length, the first one. Notice that the stitches are a little shorter and tighter. This is good for when you are working on fabrics that are thin, very delicate. You need a shorter stitch length. That medium one, if you don't know what you should be on, well, start there. That's usually enough. But if you ever feel like you're having to push the fabric through because it's so thick and the stitches are getting so small that you are helping it, all you need to do is go to the longer stitch length. Now, right now the needle is down in my fabric, which actually isn't a big deal when I'm changing from length of the straight stitch. So I'm going to just turn it. But I'll show you, I won't be doing that when I get to my other stitches that have where the needle's going to move when I turn this dial. So now we have a longer stitch length. Use the longer stitch length for fabrics like denim or minky or flannel or fleeces. Things that start to get a little bit thicker will be best sewn with the longest stitch length. Okay, so I'm going to just bring my needle up out of the fabric, because as soon as I switch to the next stitch, which is a narrow zigzag, a medium zigzag, and a large zigzag, the needle moves a little bit. So then you can stitch out the small zigzag, needles up, turn it to the next one, and all you do is you can just try out all the stitches until you see what each of them will look like. This last one here is a satin stitch, so let's just go ahead and sew it. You're going to notice that the stitches are wide and very close together. So if you're looking for an applique stitch, that would be a great one. If you want it filled in a little bit more, you can use a little thicker thread, but just make sure you use a bigger needle, a bigger eyed needle, like a top stitch needle. And you can just go ahead and keep stitching. We've got overlock stitches, we have blind hem stitches, mending stitches, a decorative stitch, and then the blue ones are our buttonhole stitches, which actually those 4 steps will create a buttonhole when you put the buttonhole foot on. So we have all these videos for you. There is a link below in the description that will take you to the entire library of all the videos that we're doing on the Singer Promise 2 model 1512.